city of Victoria can sometimes seem a little bit sleepy, but it has a lot to offer in terms of its food scene. We're going over to visit Chef Brad Holmes and see what he's been up to. Brad and his wife Sahar ran Ula in Victoria for years before rebooting it as Olo. The new restaurant's approachable, but still maintains a high level of food that they're so well known for. Brad used to work for me back at West, and I remember pushing him really hard.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah. Doing good.
This is it, huh?
Yeah, this is it right now.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's just kind of like feed the people, right? Open all the time, all sourced from awesome people. And I have a bunch of weirdos that work with me, so it keeps it fun. It's good, it's good.
I haven't seen him in ages.
I know, it's been a
quite
while.
fun. Let's have a look inside.
Yeah, let's do it.
Look into what makes up a great dish, and you'll find a spark of inspiration, incredible ingredients from remarkable locations, and the story of a chef's journey, each of them unique. All of these elements come together in food that tells a delicious and compelling story. Join Chef David Hawksworth as he explores his region, spending time with an outstanding collection of chefs, sampling their creations and finding all about their origins.
My name is Brad Holmes, and I'm the chef owner of Olo Restaurant in Victoria, British Columbia. Well, I always liked food. I always liked the experience, the excitement of going out and, like looking at a menu and ordering. I never thought it would be a good idea for a career. I was going to business. I was business ed student of the year in grade 12, and that was what I was gonna do, right? And then I went to school and I did well. And then I spent a day and a half in an accounting office, and I was like, there's no way I can do this. There's no way. So long story short, I had a bit of an idea that I was going to go to Vancouver and learn how to cook. And so my roommate said, well, I know someone that works at Havana Restaurant. He's the chef. Go and see him. So I went to Havana Restaurant and I handed my resume to a girl at the door. And that's Sahara, who has been my business partner, roommate, lover since 2001. So I got hired at Havana, but it wasn't really something that I was super interested, right? It was just fun, but there was really the two restaurants that you wanted to work at in Vancouver. And it was you wanted to work at Lumiere or you wanted to work at West for Chef David. And I found that Chef David needed someone and Lumiere didn't. So I applied and I got the job, where I met Chef David, probably the biggest mentor in my career. And he taught me a lot. Like, it was the first time I'd ever worked in like everything scratch made kitchen. I learned from whomever I could, anywhere I could. But then it just came to this point where all I was doing was working. And it was time to sort of have a bit of a focus change. He was not happy when I left and told me to be a garbage truck driver because he'd put a lot of time into me personally, and I just started to actually get good. Sahar and I went to Spain for a month, and I was able to digest all that I had learned from West while also eating in some of the best restaurants in the world. And it was exactly what I wanted. It was grilled liver, it was braised tripe, it was sardines, it was no dots, no swipes, no foams. And it really just showed me a different way to get flavor and to look at food. So when I had come back from Spain, I decided I wanted, I was gonna have my own restaurant. I had a business background, so I really pushed us to move to Victoria, because I really felt the ingredients on the island were the best. You have the fish, the forest, the farms, like it's all here. And we looked around at, what's available, and based on my experience, I'd learned the cheap thing to do was to buy an existing restaurant. We found this one, and it was in literally the worst area. There was all sorts of problems down here, but we bought this restaurant in 2010 and May 15th. And we were helped by a lot of really nice people to get this place open. My parents helped us clean and build the restaurant. Sahara's stepdad is a master carpenter, and he helped us pretty much build it. He built our tables, he built our bar. Yeah, it was just like all hands on deck, family build. I always wanted to have a more casual restaurant. I wanted to have one that I would be able to see my friends at more and wouldn't be like a special occasion restaurant. So the plan with Olo was to be more casual, to be open 7 days a week, night and day. And that's what we are now.
In the restaurant game, your suppliers are essential. So when you find someone who can get you the goods, you make sure you take care of that relationship. We're going out to meet Lance the Forger, one of Brad's suppliers.
Lance, David, nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Chef.
Hey Lance, that was a pleasure.
Right on.
So Lance is the principal forger at Olo Restaurant, and he's gonna take us for some chanterelles today. So
Right
let's go.
Okay. Good. Right on, guys.
He's been forging for us for about 2 years, and not only is he supplying ingredients to us, but he's probably bought in about 60 new ingredients a year to the restaurants of Victoria and Vancouver. What kind of mushrooms do you expect to find out here with us today?
Basically, in a nutshell, you're going to want to be looking for some chanterelles, just regular button golden chanterelles.
Beautiful. Yeah,
And there's
nice.
another species of chanterelle you're actually going to find here. It's kind of a treat. It's the winter chanterelle. We actually just found a little cluster just over there.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, and we've already found a couple admirable boletes, so that's a nice little treat.
So
But-
all of your, like, how do you know about all these different mushrooms? Like you know, seem to have a wealth of knowledge.
Self-taught and I guess the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
4 years ago, picked morels, and then the rest of it was just learning a lot of books. And I met a few botanists and a few other foragers. And
So if you're out in the woods looking for mushrooms, what would be the holy grail of mushrooms to find for you?
I would say porcini for sure, most satisfying, one of the most flavorful. And if you hit a good patch, it is insane. Like, you can see hundreds and hundreds of pounds of these mushrooms sometimes, and it's just a really huge privilege.
Yeah, that's the chanterelle, right?
Yeah, those are all chanterelles right there.
Like when you get them over in Europe,
Yeah.
they're kind of like, they're all like that.
Yeah, little
Right.
buttony things.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The forest is producing all these crazy textures and flavors, and Lance the Forger goes and gets them for us.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah. This area in Victoria that Olo is located in now is sort of been branded as Old Town. It's made up mostly of buildings that were built around 1890. It's a great old historic area that's about 6 blocks, and it has a great shopping district, it has a historic Chinatown, and it's just beautiful. I kind of use the neighborhood and all of my friends' businesses as my office. If I have to take a meeting, I'll maybe take them to the coffee shop. If it's more of a thank you meeting, we'll go for a beer at the Drake. If it's more of a pep talk, maybe we'll get a popsicle from Kid's sister and do a walk around the block. It's really about trying to develop a community. And the more that I can sort of get my face out there, the more people know about my business. Then that way it's just the local community trading the same $100 bill around, right? Like, you came and ate at my restaurant, and then I came and ate at yours, and then I bought a t-shirt from you, and it just keeps us all supporting each other. The whole plan with Ula was I cooked your food and my wife probably served you. And it was just like, this is what we know to do, let's just do it. And hopefully we'll get better at it and find our own voice once we've been doing it a while. We'd been running Ula Restaurant for about 4 years. My wife had given birth to our first son, Nico Hawk, and it sort of prevented her from being part of the restaurant anymore. So for the last year or so, I kind of ran it by myself with staff, and it almost killed me. So now what I try to do is let all these great cooks that I have come to me with things that they want to do. Help them develop the ideas into reality. The thing is, everybody always asks you, like, what's your philosophy? And I find that by using all of these people's ideas and energies and collection, we're creating a menu that has so many different people involved and so many different things. And I more or less try to keep it focused, keep the seasonality. So for me, I find it more interesting to just sort of take it all in and keep it seasonally focused around what the cooks are interested in, what the farmers have available, and what the customers are interested in eating.
I've been promised a spectacular lamb dinner this evening, but I think first of all, we need to go and check out where the ingredients come from.
The suppliers and the ingredients from Olo come from many, many different people. One of our first farms that we've been working with and we continue to work with is Ragley Farm. Ragley Farm has been a working farm for over 100 years. Hey, Chef David,
Hello.
This is Martine.
Hey, man.
How are you?
Hey.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
Good to see you.
He grows a lot of the vegetables that we get on this beautiful 100-year-old farm in East Souk.
Cool. Yeah. All right,
Okay, let's go see what you got.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, so this is the lettuce patch. Cool. We're pretty well known for our salad mix.
Farming used to be one of those things, it was sort of the job that everyone's grandfather did. It wasn't really something that people our age are doing. But it seems like there's a greater amount of people coming to farms to want to learn and participate in communities like this.
My grandfather actually happened to have a really big garden. He was living in Holland.
Yeah.
And I used to help him out a little bit. And I think that kind of inspired me. I love working outside, working, just using my hands, doing something physical, but that also you have to.
What's your favorite thing to grow? What do you?
Lemon cucumbers are one of my favorite. They're little round green cucumbers,
those guys.
or kind of, lemon color.
Yeah, they look exactly like a lemon, more or less.
Yeah, exactly.
Yellow, a little bit ridged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super delicious.
Yeah, so those are great. And that's the fun thing too about being at a farm like this. You get to grow things that you wouldn't normally see at a grocery store. So what are you guys going to do with all the ingredients?
Well, we were just out Jordan River and we were foraging for mushrooms.
Yeah.
Then we're stopping here to get some turnips and peas, and then we're off to a sheep farm, and we're gonna do a little dish with peas and turnips and chanterelles with lamb.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay, and did you have any turnips?
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah. Do you mind if I help myself to a
No,
couple
go
of
for
these
it.
little
Yeah, we
guys?
have lots right now.
These greens though are
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Sauteed and finished with a little vinegar.
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go find a few
Yeah,
peas
for
and then
sure.
let's get on with this dish.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. We have our lamb coming from a cooperative group of lamb farmers run out of Machosen as well, Perry Bay. Chef David, this is John Buchanan here.
Hello.
He provides me with the best lamb I've had in my life that I
that's
use every
good.
week at my restaurant.
Yeah.
And here we are at his beautiful farm.
That's pretty nice. How many sheep do you have?
Well, we have 300 mothers and we have about 600 lambs that we market every year.
And so what makes this lamb so special? Is it,
Well, we can control the level of fat on them pretty well. We don't really fatten them hard. We grow them steadily. so they hopefully don't get too fat. There's be some variety, and they're all should be nicely finished, because you know, I run these 600 through a chute, and I'm feeling their backs to try to decide which ones are nice. And yeah,
Checking them out first,
checking them
right?
out. That's
Making
right,
sure
for
it's
sure.
nice.
Wow.
Well, in the spring is when we have them out in the bushy areas, like across the road, or in this part where we don't cut hay. All of that part over there we'll cut hay.
Yeah.
And they're just on their mothers and eating grass, and they do really well out there.
All right.
Okay,
Well, looking
well-
forward to tasting this lamb.
Yeah, good.
Thank you for letting us come to your beautiful
Oh,
place.
you're welcome.
So David, we've been out foraging for mushrooms. We've pulled some beautiful turnips out of the ground at Ragley Farm, and we've seen where this beautiful lamb comes from. This has been sous vide cooked at 58 degrees for about 2 hours. So a little bit of salt on here,
Yep.
rub that in. It's gonna go into this hot pan, fat side down. As you can see and smell, it's starting to render out right away.
Yeah, so we had dinner here last night, and you know, the nice thing I noticed about here, that everything was nicely seasoned. All of, like, every single dish that I had was nicely seasoned, which is really nice to see, because I go to a lot of different restaurants, and there's lots of this where, you know, this is seasoned, that's seasoned, but everything was actually perfectly seasoned.
Next, what we got going here is we're gonna start the gnocchi.
Yeah.
So what I find with gnocchi in particular is it loves butter. Pop that in there. Just give it a little bit of time to create a crust on that. I always like to put these guys in the oven too. It helps souffle them a little bit
Yeah.
and makes them nice. So while those are all roasting up, I have this little sauce that I've warmed. First, we make a pressure cooked stock out of the bones from the lamb. Then what we do is we make a secondary stock that we infuse with the roasted scraps. I got these nice mushrooms here. We've got them all pulled apart. This is a good portion here. I know Chef's gonna wanna eat a good amount of those guys. And we're gonna just stick them in here with these gnocchis, which are starting to caramelize. They're not quite souffled yet.
They smell great.
Yeah, got lots of cheese in there. You got butter. They're all friends. I'm gonna just rest this guy up there. I'm gonna put a little splash of this sexy lamb fat in there, and the rest of it is going over top. I'm gonna throw in some peas now. And I'm gonna throw in some of these. These are beautiful turnips that we've gotten. And these are some yellow wax beans as well that come from the same farm. I'm gonna put a little bit of herbs in there just to roast out. And a little clove of garlic. So what I do is after I've roasted it, I cut down and I have this nice loin section here. And I keep that to slice for steaks. And then I slice between each bone. And you can see like there's good belly meat attached to that.
Yeah.
We have some beautiful pea puree that we've made from some peas that we had. This pea puree is made with whey, so it's gonna have a little bit of a sour, kind of acidic taste. We have our beautiful vegetables here, which we're just gonna stack just in little piles sort of around. I'm just giving these things, this is a little base that we make. This is made with animal fats, garlic, and all sorts of lovely herbs that we then strain out. It gives it a nice sheen and a nice little flavor to the lamb. And then one of the things that I like to do is with these green leaves that come in. They're so fresh and delicate. And then what I like to do is I like to show off that I didn't hammer your meat. So I usually just drape the sauce over the ribs here and let the residual sauce sort of sit behind.
Looks delicious.
And that's rack of lamb.
It tastes like it's good for you. It's very delicious, and I mean, it's so nice to eat something that is just like from around the corner. You've seen the field. Well done. Cheers.
Hopefully I've done you well.